I am Sujoy and I warmly welcome you back to day 5 of our spiritual journey together. It is a blessing to meet again in this quiet space of reflection, learning, and inner growth. Each day we are talking one gentle step deeper into the meaning of aging, not only as a physical process but as a sacred invitation. Aging is often misunderstood by the world. Many people see it only as decline, weakness, or loss. But through spiritual eyes, aging can become something much more beautiful. It can become a doorway to wisdom, peace, and surrender and awakening. Today, our topic is Awakening Your Twilight, the grace in aging. As we move into the latter chapters of life, we may notice that time begins to feel different. In our younger years, life is often filled with responsibilities, ambitions, work, raising children, earning money, building a home, caring for family, and proving ourselves to the world. Those years can be meaningful, but they can also be extremely busy. Many people spend most of their middle years rushing from one duty to another, hardly having time to listen to their own soul. But in the twilight years, something changes. The outer world may become quieter, the responsibilities may reduce, the pace of life may slow down. There may be more silence in the house, more space in the day, and more time to think, remember, pray, and reflect. At first, this change can feel uncomfortable. Some people may feel they are no longer useful. Some may feel forgotten. Some may wonder, this is my purpose now. But today, we are learning that this new space is not emptiness. It is not usefulness. It is not the end of meaning. Instead, it can be understood as a sacred opportunity. In Isaiah 46, verse 4, God gives a beautiful promise. Even in old age and gray hair, He remains with us. He sustains, carries, and rescues His people. This means that aging is not a journey we walk alone. God does not leave us when our body becomes slower. He does not leave us when our hair turns white. He does not leave us when our strength changes. The same God who formed us in the beginning continues to carry us through every season of life. Today, we are guided by Kathleen Dowling Singh's book, The Grace in Aging. Her message is powerful and deeply comforting. Aging gives us the time and space to turn inward, to awaken spiritually, and to find a refuge that is more reliable than anything the outer world can offer. The world offers many temporary shelters: success, beauty, money, praise, status, health, and control. But all of this can change. All of this can change. Aging gently shows us this truth. What once felt permanent begins to shift. What once gave us identity may begin to fade, and in that fading, a deeper question arises: where is my true refuge? Thank you so much for your kind comment. If you like this live stream, please share and subscribe this channel. So, as we continue in our live stream, Kathleen invites us to discover that our deepest refuge is not outside us. It is in the inner life, in God, in spirit, in awareness, in prayer, in love, and in surrender. So, my beloved souls, have you ever felt a quiet longing inside your heart? Maybe it comes during prayer. Maybe it comes when you sit alone in the evening. Maybe it comes when you look at the sky, hear an old song, remember someone you loved, or watch your grandchildren play. It may not be loud, it may not even have words, but somewhere deep inside, there's a feeling that says, there must be something more. I want to be closer to God. I want to live with peace. I want my heart to become lighter. Kathleen Dowling Singh calls this feeling spiritual longing. Spiritual longing is not sadness. Although it can appear in quiet moments of sadness, it is not weakness. Although it may arise when we feel vulnerable. Spiritual longing is the soul's desire to return to what is sacred. It is the deep inner pull toward God, truth, love, forgiveness, and peace. As people grow older, this longing often becomes stronger. Why? Because many of the things that once kept us distracted begin to fall away. We may no longer be as busy as before. We may no longer be chasing the same goals. Our identity may no longer depend on our career, our physical beauty, or our social position. The body may slow down, but the inner life may begin to speak more clearly. However, Kathleen reminds us of something important. Aging does not automatically make a person spiritually mature. Simply becoming older does not mean we become wiser, kinder, or more peaceful. We all know that a person can grow old and still remain angry, bitter, proud, or fearful. So, aging itself is not the awakening. Aging creates the condition for awakening. It gives us the time, the space, and the life experience to ask deeper questions. But we must respond. We must respond to the invitation. We must choose to grow. We must choose to soften. We must choose to surrender. We must choose to become less attached to the small self. This small self is the part of us that is always worried about image, control, comparison, and personal importance. It says, I must be respected, I must be right, I must be in control. People must treat me exactly as I expect. Life must happen according to my plan. But living only from this small self creates stress. It makes life narrow. It keeps us trapped inside fear, pride, disappointment, and resentment. Elderhood gives us a beautiful chance to move beyond this small and anxious way of living. It gives us the opportunity to loosen our grip. We can begin to say, I do not need to control everything. I do not need to prove myself anymore. I can rest in God. I can live from love. I can become free. So, this is the noble spiritual path of aging. It is not a path of giving up, it is a path of opening up. One of the hardest parts of aging is accepting the changes in the body. The body that once moved quickly may now move slowly. The eyes may need glasses, the knees may hurt, the hands may tremble, sleep may change, energy may become limited, doctors' visits may become more common, and sometimes these changes can bring frustration, fear, or grief. So it is natural to feel this. We should not pretend that aging is always easy. Spiritual growth does not mean denying pain. It does not mean forcing ourselves to smile when we are suffering. True spirituality allows honesty. We can say, this is difficult and still trust God. Kathleen Dowling Singh offers a very powerful way to look at aging. She suggests that aging, illness, and even the awareness of death can become teachers. They can become treasures for the one who understands them deeply. This does not mean that suffering itself is pleasant. It means that suffering can open our eyes, it can teach us what truly matters, it can show us the difference between what is temporary and what is eternal. The mystic Pierre Teilhard de Chardin used the phrase hallowing our diminishments. To hallow something means to make it holy or to see it through sacred eyes. Our diminishments are the losses and limitations that come with life. Loss of strength, loss of speed, and loss of certain roles, loss of independence, and sometimes loss of loved ones. Usually, we fight these diminishments. We say, this should not be happening. I don't want this. I hate this. I want to be like before. But what happens when we fight reality all the time? We become exhausted. We suffer twice, once from the difficulty itself, and again from our resistance to it. To hallow our diminishments means we begin to look at that differently. Instead of seeing every limitation only as an enemy, we ask, what can this teach me? How can this bring me closer to God? How can this help me become more humble, more patient, more loving, and more awake? So, aging teaches us impermanence. It teaches us that everything in this world changes. Our body changes, our relationship changes, our role changes, our homes change, even our thoughts and emotions change. So now, my beloved souls, the question is, how do we actually practice this awakening? Kathleen reminds us that we do not need to leave our home, live in a cave, or go away on a long retreat to grow spiritually. The spiritual path can be practiced right where we are, in our bedroom, kitchen, garden, prayer corner, hospital room, and family home. Awakening is not only for monks, saints, or scholars. Awakening is available to ordinary people living ordinary lives with sincere hearts. Kathleen highlights several important practices that can help us with the twilight years. The first practice is silence. Silence is more than the absence of noise. Silence is the space where we begin to hear God more clearly. In silence, we stop running from one thought to another. We allow the mind to settle. We allow the heart to breathe. Even 5 minutes of silence in the morning can become sacred. Sit quietly, close your eyes, take a slow breath. You do not need to force anything. Simply be with God. Let your soul rest. So if you like this live stream, please share and subscribe to this channel Heaven's Message Today. Thank you for joining this live stream. I hope you like my video. We will be back